be en route to your location with approximate 5-minute ETA.
Copy that. I'd like to get at least 2 more ambulance out of 5100. Give me Mahoney on standby with a tool, and give me Coatesville here with their tool. Copy. 2 additional EMS units from 5100, Coatesville and Mahoney for rescue units. What's your landing zone and your ground contact? Landing zone here, as soon as Hazmat can tell me the ETA on this pickup and where I can start setting up, I will advise on our landing zone. Receive. We have a 2,500 gallon tank with approximately 150 to 200 gallons fill.
We got a leak.
Command from dispatch. Command dispatch. Okay, be advised, 2 units from 5100 approaching the scene. I have Coatesville and Mahoney both on standby per your request. And air medical will be set 14 with a 12-minute ETA once notified the short need them. Copy that.
Go. Go.
LASD command. This is dispatch code. Be advised, I have 4 vehicles. I'm only showing 3 patients.
Hey, we need to get somebody searching the perimeter here for an ejected patient.
Lay down, take a nap. I'm sitting in Newcastle.
Copy, 513 operations, 514 safety. Stand up, what are your orders for your other incoming units?
We have a staging set up just east of the accident. Incoming units parked behind 505.
Outstanding. Lay down and join them.
Oh, you gotta be joking.
Can I have an update on your situation out there? We got a small gas spill at this time. Alright.
Contained and stopped.
The leak is contained and stopped. That's Ryan Ford Commander.
The leak is contained and stopped. The vapor cloud, however,
Still hanging.
is still hanging in there, buddy.
Just like breeze.
Yeah, which way's that breeze blowing?
Right at us.
So what's that mean?
Not all of us are dead.
Just about all of you are dead.
Well, I'll put it to you this way. You're not dead. You're dizzy and passed out.
500 command from dispatch. You're on a 20-minute time mark. 20-minute time mark. 10-4.
So what the problem was here is that you got your book out, you read the health hazards. The health hazards say what about this product? It causes suffocation, dizziness, irritation, can be absorbed or inhaled. The leak was controlled, the spill itself is contained, your cloud is still going, you still have the hazard. Obviously you need SCBA on. You're now at that point after we 1, 2, 3, 4, probably half a dozen of you have now succumbed to the fumes. So now, what do you do in this situation? Very good. All right, everybody's alive again. Let's get this done.
Go ahead, command. Be advised, we have one vehicle that is empty. There is possible an ejection. We need to search the perimeter, get somebody on that ASAP. 10-4.
Put it in off here, put one in off the back. Now we can join this with this one with this one. Here, make it a little bit easier.
What idea how to get him out of the white car.
Take that strap, Chad.
This white door right here.
Take the two long ones over in there.
He is in there. We can cut it right here on the corners and pull the rest of the door off.
Here and here.
Yeah, we'll
Bring it down.
pull it here and here. Right down.
Go get that one set up right there, David. Come on.
Operations command.
Go ahead, command.
Advise me when the scene is stripped and safe so I can get an update on these patients.
Krista.
Anybody on the other side?
Anybody on the side?
Check the white car behind the black car. Make sure it's blocked up before we get anybody on the back side of that black car.
We gotta block up the road.
That operation.
Don't pull on yet.
No, not there.
We are able to check
Let the
one
point
patient, which
in
is
the
breathing.
back there.
The other patient we are unable to get to at this time.
Operations command.
Go ahead, command.
We're stuck over here.
You have to get me an LZ set up because I'm gonna get the bird coming in and another bird on standby.
Closest LG may be the church right up the road here.
1-4. I need 2 birds in the air, staging at the church right down from the scene. Operations, what's the status on third patient? Be advised, I have 3 critical patients. I need 3 birds in the air. I have another patient, ejected patient. We cannot find at this time. We are searching.
They just caught a critical patient.
Huh?
They just caught a critical patient.
In the black car.
Let's get the dogs on it.
That's received. Be advised, Stat had 1 helicopter already in the air close to your area. They're 4 minutes from the landing zone. Your second helicopter is 12, and your third is going to be 19 minutes to the landing zone. I need a ground contact, please.
Trip this white one too. Yeah, I just know where this goes. We can cruise the white one.
Good. I need 1100 dispatched out to the landing zone. They will be in command of the landing zone. That's received. We find another patient yet?
Negative on the white car.
Command from dispatch. We just got a call from St. Elizabeth. 1 patient presented there by themselves. Apparently they left the scene.
Red one to the black.
Copy that.
Yeah. Karen, where do you want this with the strap?
Operations command.
Go ahead, command.
Be advised, the 4th patient is left the scene and is at St. Elizabeth at this time. So there's only 3 patients.
Thank you, command.
Okay, be advised that Stat 14 is doing a final approach over the church. They're waiting on landing until a ground contact or apparatus is on the scene. Copy that. Operations command.
for everybody on scene.
Other than that, we just strap the dog out.
Repeat. I want accountability tags of everybody on scene.
I'm gonna go to the back of this red car so we can get a medic in there or at least.
Which one am I getting in?
Got it. This red one, we got access to it.
Command operation. Go ahead, operation. Safety and accountability. 10-4.
You guys have tags?
Operation.
This is operation.
Yeah, 2 little ones.
We don't need a sledgehammer.
1151.
There's one right here. Never mind. I need a something to. I need a. You can start pick tag axe over there.
Be advised. LZ set up. Helicopters under that. Copy that. We'll advise when we get the first patient removed.
Hey, change your tip.
1151 copies.
Let's get everything set up while they're doing this.
Go ahead, command. We need an ETA on when extra patient's going to start. I have a bird on the ground. 500 command 1151. And 1151. Be advised, we have the second helicopter on the ground. Copy that. 500 command 1151. Command 1151. Be advised, I was just informed by the helicopter. They've got a storm front moving in. They may have to leave the area shortly. ETA on patient. We'll advise.
I need the sledgehammer.
Go ahead, man. I was just advised that the storm front heading in. We need an ETA on patient because the birds might have to leave. We'll have one patient ready here in 10:15.
So once I crush the fender to open that door, it's going to move the fender.
Already crushed.
Okay, yeah, but
You already had a fight.
I'm worried about the fender moving.
I need the mobile trauma unit out of St. Elizabeth.
No?
Pop, you pop here. We should be able to. Just don't. You never start at the nadir.
Operations command.
What's going on?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, command. Be advised, I have a mobile trauma unit en route.
What's in it? I think that might be.
10-4 ETA on it. We're advised. Dispatch command. Good. We advise you ETA on a mobile trauma unit.
When do you start cutting?
All we gotta do is tighten this dog up and we're good.
Whenever you want to start cutting,
40 minutes. 90.
Good. Good. Okay. Let's start going at it.
Where you want to go first?
Command from dispatch. 40-minute time mark. 40 minutes. Copy that.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna keep going around.
Thank you, operator.
Hey, Al.
Road operation.
Can you grab
This is safety. Go ahead, operations. Safety. I am to get in. To the red car. Affirmative. The car is stable.
Right there.
10-4.
The carpet on the back there in the bottom.
Dispatch command.
Okay, go.
Good. I need Owen and Nishanik on scene with their tool. 3-2.
Okay, she's gonna need a backboard and a collar. Someone go get it.
Yes.
You're gonna need help, David.
500 Command 1151. Command 1151.
Okay. Got his head?
The third bird has a radio contact with them. They're turning around. They don't want to take a chance with the storm front coming in. Copy that. Be advised. I have a trauma unit.
Okay.
A mobile trauma unit coming in from St. Elizabeth. 10-4.
You can go. Start with the hand pull. Start with this red door off.
Red door?
Yep.
Which one, right?
Front red door. He's leaning on the door. Okay. The patient is leaning on this driver's door. You're gonna be careful popping it
Put
off.
that back on first.
Huh?
Did you put that back support on?
That's what they're gonna get.
Be advised. We're 5 minutes in next stage.
Throttle up. Yeah. Up. Put airbags on the driver's side. You ready?
Huh?
Going up this way.
Go, it's gonna hit its, keep going, it's gonna hit its other stage.
1151 Command. At this time, they say they can stick around about 15 minutes. Copy that.
Alright, you better bite on that bottom hand.
I have an ETA at 15 minutes on the bird. 1051 Command. 1151. Be advised, I should have one patient extracted within 12 to 14 minutes. Wait to hear if I have another mobile trauma unit available. If so, I'm going to get in a rock in case the weather turns bad. Copy that.
Go ahead. Hit the plate car. Make sure we're still.
Command to dispatch.
Alright, Dave, get that door out of here.
Call back to St. E's and if no other MIC is available. Copy that.
Go. Okay.
You want to get in there?
I need to check if his legs are pinned.
All right,
You can feel up
conduct it
their
all
wheel.
soon. Conduct it all soon. Shut all operations down. Everybody take 5.
Couple things. I told you we were going to overwhelm you. I believe we accomplished that. Okay? We overwhelmed you. Completely not practical by any way, shape, or form of the imagination. Alright? The problem is everybody's got tunnel vision. Okay? We got cribbed. We were afraid to do anything else until one person said we were okay to get cribbed. That was safety. Alright? Get the cribbing done and move on. We started to move on, and there was one guy running a tool.
Yep.
How many tools we got here?
Quite a few.
We got a lot. Okay?
Or
Should have had multiple tools going. We got multiple patients. All right. Should have had one group on this car, one group on the black car. What were you going to do with this guy in this car?
We were going to wait until we get the red one out and then start on him and drop the door.
Okay. What's the problem with dropping that door right now as this sits?
That strap. The strap's in the way.
Your stabilization has blocked that. What's going to happen once you pop these two doors? You're going to lose more of your stabilization. So if you think of undoing that strap afterwards because you need to get to that door, you are screwed, literally. Okay? So we needed to think a little bit better about how we were going to do that, or how we were going to gain access to him. Maybe we should have gained access to him prior to gaining access to here. Okay? Learning process. That's why we're here. Stop and think about what we went over. Okay? You've got to get this dash up. You've got a lot of weight here.
Yeah.
Okay? So you're not going to be able to lift the roof here. If you make a pie cut down here, cut your A-post, put your spreaders in, you can lift that dash enough to get him out, and you still have your egress of the patient. All right? You still have your extrication pathway. All right? We're still doing a dash lift. We're not lifting the weight of this. We're just doing a dash, and we don't need a whole lot. We didn't need a lot to get him out. Okay? Questions so far? Lou, you're biting at the bit, buddy. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm biting at the bit because I'm stuck over there, you know?
The man sucks.
Yeah, but it's the main part of the whole
Main part
exercise.
is necessary. Okay? Good thinking. You were calling in mutual aid. You were getting the equipment here that you needed. Okay? Tunnel vision. Don't get it. Everybody's got to look outside the box. You got to look at this whole scene and see what you have. All right? We were focusing on one patient. All right? Can't do that. All right, so once we get everybody hydrated again, we're going to finish this off. What are we going to do? What's the first thing we need to fix before we go any further?
We need to get another tool in operation.
We need to get another tool in operation. What else? We got to figure out what we're going to do here. Now, what's a possibility that we might be able to do here with the strap the way it is?
Going through the floor?
Huh? You might be able to get the door, but what are you going to have to do first? Or what do you need to do here? No, absolutely not. You loosen that strap, your whole operation stops because you've now done away with your stability. What do you need to do? Before you do anything else right now, what's the first thing you need to do between these two cars? Well, really not a whole lot of room to crib. Get this door off. Because if you get this one off, or do anything here to get Willie out, what's that going to do? You're going to ruin your stabilization. Get this door off first. Okay? Yep.
I thought he came out for a break.
In all reality, he's probably dead by now. He was a critical patient, multi-system trauma. He's been in there. At what point did we stop? 40 plus minutes?
We stopped at the 50 minutes.
All right, 50-minute mark, and we haven't even got anybody in to look at him other than the fact that we know he's critical. He's not talking to us. Yes, guy.
Notice you guys got to get a little more urgency to you. I see a lot of people standing around that don't need to be standing around. You got to get this thing done.
I realize that this is a practical exercise and that this is just a training session. But you got to treat it as if you're actually doing it. The problem is if you get lax and just kind of muddle around and take your time at doing things, and
Even though it's a training exercise, you do have people inside the vehicles.
right,
Gotta get
you
them
want to
out.
get them out, and not only that, it's gonna get a habit. That's how you're gonna act on regular scenes. Okay. Not that anybody's doing anything wrong, and not that you guys haven't done a good job. We're gonna do something that we haven't done before. Okay. This is new. I try something new every class. All right. Where's Guy at? Your department, your class, your ball game. You're not commanding. We're starting fresh. You have the use of Alan, Steve, and myself. Run the shows if you would from this point on. No, I want you, from this point on, we're going to run this as this is an actual crash. There's going to be no more communicating with dispatch, none of the class setting. Alright? Alan, Steve, and I, and Guy are still going to be watching for safety issues. When we say stop, you still stop. Other than that, we're just regular guys. Let's get the job done. Don't focus on using us, okay? We're here to help. We'll get in there and do stuff because I'm dying to play with the tools. Alright? But let's get this done and see what we can do with it.
The passenger seat may or may not have to come out.
We just might be able to lay it down.
You know, a sawzall or something.
We're going to have two operations, guys. On the left side will be Keith Drabick. On the right will be Ellen Martino. It will be also referred as Keith 5107, Ellen 5102. I want to split the group up. Half on one side, half on the other side. I need patient assessment. I need you to tell me what the patient's like ASAP.
It's still hard to get somebody vertically out. Best way to get somebody out is like this.
Somebody communicate to me what that patient's like. He got in that car.
We're going to take the floor.
What's the patient like?
This one?
When
that piece that's down below there?
Yeah.
You got to cut the wires, and you got to cut that other thing. You don't have a cutter. You got to go get the cutter. Off on blue.
slide his hips out onto the board.
We kind of can't go nowhere.
We need a strap.
I can't pull and move his leg at the same time.
Okay, Dave, we're probably gonna need you over there to pull the strap so he can dislodge your foot.
Choke you.
Somebody pull this, please. Full pressure on that right view all the way.
Look for his right foot. Where's he have his right foot at?
Okay, David coming. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Sticking. Okay, turn him. 1, 2, 3.
Second operation.
Okay, he's got 7 more.
I need a spreader tool on both
Go ahead, Chad. Get in there.
You're okay. Just lift the back. All right.
Feel the rock.
Close it up. Hold on.
Documentation. Excellent, thank you. 5102, the same. 5102, can we repeat your... Yeah, we do have good access. We're working on getting them out now. Thank you.
Side. Chad, bolt cutters.
You guys have a steering wheel cutter somewhere.
Let him up.
Sure? Lift and straighten that board, Krista. Atta girl.
I can't go any farther.
I'm trying to get underneath it. I got my leg under. So do I. More, but you guys are going to have to pull him out.
Wait, stop. I gotta get out.
Let her reposition.
We gotta take him up.
Man, you have.
Help him up. Alright, man, we got you.
Okay, when you go, you're going to have to go a little bit towards Daniel. When you pull him out, you're going to crush the shit out of me.
Too.
Straight back. Or get smaller. Okay.
We got you.
Fall back.
I got the back. We're out.
Okay, I gotta stand up. Need a hand. Okay.
Got it.
On my knee.
And another 15 stabilization and quick access over here.
I don't know how to
5
get
minutes,
this.
ain't bad at all for something like that.
Something out of this thing. No way.
All right, going over the first scenario we ran. Time of dispatch was 8:40. You were on scene 8:41. Realistic? No, doesn't matter. You recognized the placard at 8:45. You identified it and called for hazmat at 8:46. What did we screw up at that point?
My lack of communication with hazmat.
Lack of communication with hazmat, and when you identified it and read the book, you didn't follow through with what the book said, which is what we talked about as far as the health hazards. Everybody at that point should have had SCBA on.
Plain and simple.
Plain and simple. All right? Even if you're not sure, have it on. Alright, you finally got your size up at 8:49. 9 minutes in, you finally got your size up. Your size up should be done as you're pulling on scene, okay? As you're rolling up, 502 LAOC, be advised, on scene, 4-vehicle accident involving a tanker truck, entrapment, multiple patients, unknown severity. Ask for your backup.
See, with the tanker, that's where I screwed up because I thought, I gotta wait till I can get in there and do a size up. They can inside the box, 360. That's where I screwed up.
All right. At 8:50, you asked for Coatesville. 2 additional ambulances from 5100, 200, and a helicopter on standby. Not bad. Good idea. Get them coming. As opposed to having Coatesville and 200 on standby, I'd have started them. You can always tell them to hold in the staging area. We don't utilize staging areas enough. We put people on standby at their station. That's fine, except how long does it take Mahoning to get here? You know? Get them here, put them in a staging area, lots of places to pick from. And when they get to the staging area, whoever their officer in charge is, they're now in charge of staging. And that takes it all out of you. So every truck coming in is going to contact them. It's going to alleviate some hassle off you. You have to delegate. Follow your command structure. Okay? All right. At 8:52, we miraculously found a hazmat team a block away and had them come in and control the spill. All right? 8:54, you did your size up with your 360, which told you about your 3 patients. Okay? Good, except for the fact, again, you didn't have your air packs on, everybody died. Which at 9 o'clock, we killed 4 people. Which technically would have been everybody here. Okay? Realistically, in the real world. Then again, in the real world, you wouldn't have been that close. You'd have saw the you'd have saw the vapor cloud, you'd have stayed back. It'd have been an hour before hazmat got here. You'd have evacuated a mile-wide radius, yada yada. Alright. 9 o'clock, command had to change because, well, you weren't alive anymore.
Who took over?
I thought I was just unconscious. Well, Karen took over.
She initially took over, then she died, and then he did over there.
Okay. Evan took over.
Evan took over. Evan, not bad. You recognized right away that you needed the SCBAs. You overcame your problem that you had. At that point, at 9:04, we made everybody alive again. All right? 9:05, you requested 1100 and 100 for their tools because I was being a pain in your butt and sent 200 in Coatesville on something else. Okay? 9:07, your LZ was established. Your second helicopter was coming in. You gave us an update. All right? One thing you got to do immediately when you ask for a helicopter, get your landing zone, get your ground contact, get it done. You asked for a third helicopter at 9:08. All right, and you were searching for the 4th patient. What made you decide that there was a 4th patient?
4 vehicles involved, no patient available, window would have been broken out. I thought there was possible an ejection, last car coming in, and there would have been possible ejection.
Anything else clue you off to that there might have been somebody in there other than just a car sitting? Because it could have just been a radio.
Radio. Well, it wasn't running.
Well,
the ignition was on.
Ignition was on, radio was on. I have to admit, I missed that. When you called for the 4th patient searching, I looked at Steve and said, there's no 4th patient. That car was just parked there, sitting there. He said, no, the key's on, the radio's playing. Good catch. Alright? I had forgot that the radio was on. I hadn't anticipated throwing that into your mix, so you kind of complicated things yourself. But you handled it correctly. 9:15, your landing zone was completely set up with the 1100. Had your ground contact, your helicopters were coming in. You asked for the mobile MICU out of St. E's at 9:18. Gave you a 40-minute ETA at 9:20.
No, that was 40 minutes into it.
Oh, 40 minutes into it at 9:20. All right. I gave you a 30-minute ETA for that mobile ICU. Your helicopters were on the ground. It's something you might not be aware of. Take those flight crews, have somebody bring them down here with their equipment. If they can't take back off because of weather, you got 3 ambulances sitting there. They're going to transport anyway. Transport them with the flight crews in them. Your EMS should have done that ahead of time. You know, they should have already been thinking that. But again, it's not a big deal. It's just something to learning knowledge. 21, you asked for Poland and 100 to the scene for additional rescue units. Good deal. 924, 44 minutes into it, your first tool started. You took a tremendous amount of time cribbing, okay? A lot more than what you probably should have. But the problem was is everybody was waiting for that exact order to do something. You're all kind of gun shy for whatever reason, all right? You need to follow orders, you need to follow your command structure, but at the same time, take a little self-initiative. You know it needs cribbed, you know how to crib, you know where to crib. Do it, all right? Don't wait on your operations to tell you every single place to put some cribbing, every single place on how to do it. You should know. That's what we're here for. And I know you guys know it because we've done this over and over again, okay? Trauma unit what?
Status.
Oh, 926, you asked for the trauma unit status. And at 9:30, I shut down the operations. All right? 9:30, you were into it for 50 minutes. You've already lost your golden hour for all your patients. Everybody just seemed a little bit overwhelmed at that point. Not that anybody did anything wrong. Again, that's why we're here. It's training. But at that point, I felt we needed to stop and reevaluate the situation and talk about it and go over it. Does everybody understand why I did that? Anybody upset with me that I did that? Okay. Alan.
As far as you know, the first 40-45 minutes, with any scene you go to, the first 20 minutes is always mass hysteria. Okay? Seriously. You think about any scene you go to, whether it's a car fire, car accident, whatever, unless it's something minor, it's mass hysteria for the first 20 minutes. Then we start getting back into the groove of what's our jobs. You start assigning people to where they need to go. And other than the vapor cloud and us killing all of, most of the crew here, that's exactly what happened. After 20 minutes, stuff started going. Stuff started happening. The ball started rolling. I agree with Keith. You guys were a little bit gun shy on the cribbing part of it. But okay. Maybe we're just waiting for some direction. We've talked about this in class. You know what needs done. Scene safety's first, which you did a great job of that, keeping everybody back till you figured out what was in that tanker. There was a little bit of confusion on the containment versus the vapor cloud still there, yada yada. Okay, mistake learned. Put it behind you. Scene safety did a good job on. Cribbing is next. Vehicle stabilization. From what I saw, you guys got your straps out. You made the two overturned cars one. You got the vehicles cribbed properly. Other than the one strap coming over the door.
That's all.
That was a great job done by all. We gave yins a scenario to remember. I don't think any of you will forget this. Is it possible?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it probable?
No.
Probably not. But now you know that you did it. Okay? After the break, we got back into it. We broke into 3 teams. You got your groove back. It took a little over 30 minutes. 30 minutes and 30 seconds, guy, to extricate 3 people from 3 very difficult situations. And where's Jeff at? He made it a lot more difficult.
Willie wasn't none too friendly with us either.
Well, I'm sure he wasn't. Flip over to the next page, Eric.
All right. Before we get any further into this next page, not to step on your parade here, Steve, you got anything on the first part?
Yeah. You have to remember, they're talking about the first 20 minutes or so, the confusion of everything that's going on. You're here to learn. We've already done it. We're familiar with it. In a typical scene, you're going to have your command there. You're going to have people to know what's going on. You're not going to have that people waiting around to see what's going on, because there's going to be someone there telling you, hey, let's get going, do this, do that. Let's get this done. That's why you have that little bit of learning in this situation. There's not a whole, it's confusion. the first 20 minutes. But when you get to a regular scene, you've got veteran members there. You won't have as much confusion because not everybody's green at it. Who took the first door off? Who worked on that? Who was running the tool? Vince, by yourself? Okay, who was holding the patient? Okay, what was everybody else doing?
I was running the machine.
You were running the machine. That's 3 people. What was everybody else doing? Okay, your spreader was tied up, your cutters were tied up, even if you put a 4th person in there. You had 2 other patients. We have hand tools. That's why you learn hand tools. Don't get the tunnel vision and think, well, they're using the spreaders, I can't do nothing. Get the hand tools, take another team, and start on another patient. And that was the one thing I seen that you lacked the most. Lou, I threw a wrench to you with the weather, and you were quick to catch up on the mobile trauma unit. Great. Thinking outside the box. Same thing when you're doing your extrication. You got 3 people you got to extricate. Just because a tool's doing one job, don't forget, you know how to use hand tools. Start your hand tool extrication. When the tool becomes available, Alan started tunneling through on the black car with hand tools. As soon as we freed up the tool from popping the door on the white car, it went up and around, and now you had a power tool to do it. If the power tool breaks, you're just going to stand there and say, oh, I'm done. You go to your hand tools. So you can start your extrication with hand tools too.
I would be willing to bet that if you would have went into this scenario, this first part, and divided yourself into groups, even if they were 2-man groups, 2 men attacking each car, and used your hand tools like Steve said, and worked as a team, but yet separated, if you know what I mean. I know that's not the correct wording there.
3 groups.
3 groups. Sounds kind of stupid me saying it. If you'd have done that and took some initiative, there's no doubt in my mind that in that 40 minutes, you would have at least had 2 of the 3 out. Okay? Guy, anything on the first?
I think you guys are going to need to realize that when you get on scene, you know, you get on the trucks and you're all pumped and you get the lights and sirens going, but we're all here to do a task. If you come here and you're here and you don't do something, think about it. Is there something I could do? There's something you should be able to do. Just remember, you got to, number 1, assess the patient. Get EMS in there, assess the patient, see which ones you have to get out first, and then the operations man should be able to break you into groups. But for people to stand around, you might as well stay home.
That's the harsh reality of it.
When you're standing back at command, you see people stand around. Why? Because if you're seeing those people stand around, then this guy filming me right now seeing you stand around, patient's family that's coming over seeing you stand around, nobody's doing nothing. That's not good.
It's inevitable. At some point, somebody will catch you on a camera. Stand there with your thumb well inserted when there's something you could be doing. The Edgar Snyders of the world love that. That's what they live for. All right? I'm not saying that there's not going to be a time where there's nothing you can do but stand there and wait. Okay? But you can always try and find something. Look for something. Did you give seating assignments on your way out?
I did that before we left.
Okay.
Set everybody up where I wanted.
What was your assignment when you got off the truck? Don't know. Don't know.
I was driving.
Full hose.
I was driving one. I gave assignments out to my crew as we were coming in. I gave him the hose, him the safety.
All right.
I jumped up on the phone.
Seating assignments work if you use them properly. All right. The problem is when you get a monkey wrench thrown in like we did, where everything's got to stop, and then everybody forgets what they were supposed to do. We got to shift gears and move on.
We were stuck in a box because we had our fucking thing.
You were stuck in one hell of a box,
I
man.
set everybody where I wanted to set them as they're coming in, what vehicle they were coming in, but then I was done.
Now,
That's where I screwed up.
I'm going to ask you to kind of swallow your pride here a little bit.
Okay.
Did you learn anything today?
A lot. More than what I thought my brain could handle. But After I got the first 5 minutes, I'll tell you right now, I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to figure what the hell was going on. And then that's when I told myself I better settle down, figure out what I'm doing, and start doing it.
Exactly. At some point, when it gets like that, you've got to, and Steve, Guy, Alan, I'm sure you've all done it, you've got to go, time out. I got to stop and think about this for a second.
You have to pull your own cranium out of your...
Yeah.
Right.
You have to
There was no
de-rectimize
pride here.
yourself.
Believe me, I had no pride. It was all on.
But the thing that you did correctly was realize the need that you needed to stop, slow down, reevaluate. And that's what makes or breaks a scene. It's the one that doesn't realize that and continues moving on with that same chaotic direction that things just go completely haywire. And we've all seen it and probably done it. I know I have.
I got a question. Shoot.
All right, the tanker, didn't have no placard. Now, how many times you going to come up on a scene where there's a tanker without a placard or the wrong placard?
More than you'll ever know.
Yeah, that's why I kind of figured.
More than you'll ever know.
And be quite honest, I didn't know you were at a staging area. I thought you were coming from the station. You got here quicker than we could put a placard on.
There was going to be a placard. But realistically, and Guy and I were talking, the shipping industry has, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with this or not, I know we touched on it, shipping industry has certain weight limits and different packaging that requires placards and some doesn't.
Yeah. Anything under 1,000 pounds, you do not have to placard.
So I can have a 45-foot trailer or 53-foot trailer with however many 55-gallon drums you could fit in there, probably 40 or 50 at least, with 999 pounds in each one, and not have to placard it. Because it's packaged separately and it's under 1,000 pounds per.
So you should have went. Technically, I should have instantly put an SCBA on and went for the cap.
Well, the SCBA may not have worked.
Here's how my thought process on that. And Guy, I don't know what your policy is. Steve, I don't know what yours is. My policy at my station, or what I believe our policy to be, is if we pull up on something like that and it's not placarded and we don't know what's in it, we stay back until we can determine it, and if we have to put air packs on and get situated to be protected against a hazardous material, in order to do that, in order to get those shipping papers or talk to that driver, get the bill of lading, that's what we do. Who knows what's in these trucks, correct?
Did anybody look for the driver?
Did anybody once look for the driver of the truck?
Yeah, I did. He was
running down the road because he was driving a non-placard truck.
If you have a truck with placards on, your first thing is to find the driver.
Absolutely.
Because he'll be able to tell you what's in that truck.
Actually, our SOGs in the manual state, you have to identify the product. If not, you stay at a distance. If it's 1,000 feet, they evacuate for half a mile.
Now, like we were saying, most of them, half the times you don't know what. Now, what if the company papered it wrong? Gave them the wrong paper? Yeah. I know. We've gotten them in the company I'm at, wrong paperwork.
Pull the dice out of your pocket, blow on them, and roll them wishing for a 7. That's all you can do.
98% of your guys that haul hazmat don't placard.
Yeah, because they don't want that responsibility.
That's right.
Steve.
Okay, we was talking about mixed loads. You know who one of the biggest offenders of that is? Walmart.
Yeah.
They can haul chlorine in the same truck that they're hauling motor oil in. And what happens if you mix the two together? They will burn. Now, Lou asked a question, he should have put an air pack on and went up to the truck. Right here, just right here, who's wearing a boot that will cover them to walk up to a truck? We have 10 people in our department that wear Thorogood Hellfire hazmat boots. They're structural interior firefighting boots, and they're also hazmat boots. Leather won't do it.
That's that.
You have the Cross Tech in it? Okay. You're wearing them then.
Yeah.
This is a leather with Cross Tech. Cross Techs protect against bloodborne pathogens and hazmat materials. But more than likely, when he's done with them boots, if he's walked through that, they're gone. You're going to throw them away. Where the rubber ones, they can decontaminate. I don't think the leather you can because it gets into the material.
That's awesome.
Now, how would you dispose of them? You know,
How would you at the scene? When your hazmat arrives, they take care of disposal of all hazardous materials. Your best bet is to take them boots off and just hand them to them and say, here, do me a favor. And they'll take them and chuck them.
And that brings up the question I wanted to ask you. When you asked for a hazmat team, you asked for one out of Wellsville, Ohio. Why?
I was trying to figure out where the closest one was. I know we got one right over in Ohio, but I couldn't figure out where it was.
Why didn't you call for the one in Newcastle?
Wellsville, you're looking at an hour and a half tops.
Your closest ones are going to be the
That's
city.
all about the city having a hazmat.
The city fire's got a hazmat trailer down there now. Is it in their garage now, or is it still at Stone?
It's at the borough.
All right. It's up at the borough. Beaver County has an extensive hazmat team. You got everything under the sun.
You know what? Last night I thought of that, and it was Beaver County. I asked somebody, I said, where's the closest one? And it was Beaver County. Instead, I went to the wrong one.
Now, again, as I said, this is something that I, as an instructor over however many years, have never done. So we decided to do it today. One, because we got a kind of limited number here, and two, because it just looked really interesting over there, and I couldn't take it in. All right? So the instructors, Steve, Allen, and myself, jumped in on this. Now, according to these notes here from Guy, we started at 12:06. We were completely done with all three extrications in 30 minutes and 30 seconds. The only thing that we did not do was stabilization and popping one door because it was already off. I will give
10 minutes.
10 to 20 minutes to have that done, depending. Why was that so successful? Everybody was busy. Everybody was doing something. We split up into, everybody attacked a different car. We all shared tools. We started with hand tools. We got in, did what we had to do, got out, and when we were done with our scenario, we moved on to help the next scenario. Okay? Oh, okay. That's even better. All right? So, you know, you can do that. You'll probably never see it again, but you can do it. We showed it. We just did it. Don't underestimate yourselves. All right? Everybody has strong points. Everybody has weak points. You help each other. You know? That's what we're here for. All right? I've been doing this almost 20 years. Never once have I had to do a reverse dash lift until today.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Steve's idea. I thought about it for about, I don't know, a millisecond and went, nah. Gotta be another way. Tried it. It didn't do exactly what we wanted. I think it's because the floor was rotted.
Right.
We'd had a solid floor. That'd have worked like a dream.
Almost had to do a dash roll in the back.
Okay?
That would have been interesting to try to do the dash roll.
Dash roll when the car's on its side are really neat.
Especially like that.
We had no room at all.
Really neat. It takes some creative cribbing, to say the least, to do those. All right? But we did it. We accomplished the task we set out to. All right?
I got a question. On the way when you tried to do the reverse dash roll, could we have cut the floor across and rolled the floor back?
Could have, but we accomplished the task quicker doing it the other way. You know, the patient's critical. At that point, you got to get them out. Rapid extrication. Do what you got to do. You know, that's just the facts of life. Sometimes things don't always work like you're supposed to. As far as the red car on the second one, worked good, guys. Went in there, made the relief cut the A-post, boom, dash was up, patient was out. Who brought up the webbing for the pedal? Way to be on top of it.
He paid attention in class.
Paid attention in class. You get a gold star for the day. All right.
Use that gold star.
Steve, white car.
The seat. You wanted to cut the seat out. People are working on the white car. What was right there in your face that you pulled off and discarded? The controls, exactly right. Electric seat. More likely there's still power there. Put it all the way back, all the way up, get all the room you can. More likely you won't have to take the seat out of your way. Tip the back up. You lifted the back. I watched you lift the back. Keith lifted the back up. Hit the release lever, tilt the back up. You get yourself all that room and you don't have to take nothing out. The people that are standing around, something I wanted to touch on and I didn't. If you're that unsure of yourself, and I'm sure there's people here who are unsure of themselves, don't just stand there. Step back, go to your officer in charge, somebody, and say, what can I do? What do you need me to do? If they tell you, well, I need you to go over and cut that door off, and somebody's already doing it, say, well, they're already cutting it, well, then stand by. When he gets tired, you step in. Or, I need you to go take the tool and cut that. Say, I'm not that sure of myself. I don't know if I can do that. Either buck up and go in there and try and do it, or try to get somebody who can. Don't just stand around. The only way you're going to get proficient is practice. I've been a chief, this is 2 years now. He asked Lou to swallow pride. I don't need to swallow pride. I learn something new every time. Bingo's fire. I don't know if any Ians were at the Bingo's fire. I don't think I got Pulaski all the way in except for a tanker. It was a disaster. At one point I had to stand back and say, this ain't working. I got 2 aerials. I had 3 aerials. I had lines running everywhere. I says, the fire ain't going out. We got to do something different. We adjusted. We weren't able to put it out. The fire load was such, we were flowing, we figure somewhere close to 6,000 gallons a minute on that fire. That's how much water we were flowing, and it would not go out because of the construction of the building. Double roof. Nothing you could do. You step back and change your plan. Every call you'll learn something different. Alan said it at the station yesterday. He says, Steve will take you out and show you how to take a door hinge off with a pair of bolt cutters. How long you been an instructor, Alan? Keith?
A couple years.
Okay. Keith, how long you been doing this?
Long enough that I should have known that. Didn't know until the last time I was out here teaching and watched them do it.
I took BVR 4 years ago, 5 years ago. When I took it, I had well-trained, well-seasoned instructors come out of Pittsburgh. They gave us a really good scenario. We had vehicles down over the hillside. We had to extricate up through the roof. We had 2 cars into one another with a bicycle underneath it with a rider on it. We had people in the trunk because one guy was sneaking into the drive-in theater. It was a carload of kids. They gave us every scenario they could mix up. When we were going through the class, we come to hand tools. We went over to take a door off a car, and the instructor says, there's a tarp here with tools, have at it. He says, the other crew's been at it 15 minutes. They haven't even got the door loose. I walked over, I looked at the door, I says, well, hell, bolt cutters. I picked up the bolt cutters. He says, what are you going to do with them? I says, cut the door off. He says, no, you ain't. I went over there, I sat down, I got a bite into it, I come up and down a few times, broke it. He says, I'll be damned. I took the hinge off the top, I took the hinge off the bottom, I handed him the door, I says, yes, I am. He stopped, everybody there, called the instructors over. He says, look at this. They says, what? He says, what'd they take that off with? He says, he took it off with bolt cutters. They says, no, he didn't. He says, yeah, I just watched them. 4 instructors, never seen it done. It was something I thought of at the spare of the moment. That was the first time I took a door off with a bolt cutter. You don't need to get them closed all the way. You just need to get them to bite. Steel will tear. It's mild steel. It's not spring steel like in the side impact doors. Think outside the box, don't get tunnel vision. I think you did a great job. Cribbing took a little long, but there again, if you're going to crib something, you pull up there, you had multiple things to crib. If you'd have broke up into teams, each took a car. Just don't run around. running into one another.
You will from now on, because a situation like that, webbing it's cheap and it is so usable on situations like that. Because you're not going to be able to get the leverage. You don't have enough room to get enough people in there to get the leverage to get the person out. Did that work pretty good?
Yeah.
Slide the webbing under there, one pulling, one lifting.
You'd have definitely been off that back.
Right.
First
Okay.
thing you said when you said webbing, I was going to pull the strap out of the back of his jacket and use that.
But not
Just
ever.
thinking
But
something quick.
and that would have been quick. However,
He ain't going to have that jacket on.
if you're digging somebody out of their car, they're not going to have a fire coat on with webbing attached to it.
Stick it underneath him with the
Adapt and overcome.
That's where just sitting down with on a winter training. It's like, how would we move this person, and practice it in your station, and then you apply it.
Very wise man told me once, long, long ago, when I first started in this back in the late 80s. There's certain things you need to carry with you at all times. You'll never have everything you need, but if you have these certain things, you'll be able to at least adapt and overcome 90% of it. You need to have 2 sections of webbing. One just in the daisy chain. Still got that, do you?
Yes, I do.
You need one 10-foot section in a daisy chain. Should have another 10-foot section tied in a continuous loop with a D-ring on it. Pair of vice grips with the wire cutter on them. All right, or a pair of vice grips and just a plain pair of dikes. Those things on you at all times, you should be able to adapt and overcome almost anything. Webbing and the dikes you can use in extrication. You can pull pedals, you can hold backboards up, you can slide patients out with. Dikes, you can cut the wires. You can start getting some plastic out of your way. All right? They work the same for a structure fire. That continuous loop with the D-ring will hook right onto an air pack, man. Drag another fireman out, hook it around the victim, pull them out. Wire cutters. I don't know how many of you guys have ever experienced fluorescent lights or a drop ceiling falling on you and getting tangled up in all that wire. It's a pain in the ass. You got to cut yourself out of it, all right? There's certain things you should always have in your gear. It'll help you, all right? I think you guys did an excellent job. I really do, all right? Hopefully you learned some stuff today and you'll take it away from here and use it. I learned some stuff today, all right? I learn stuff every time I do this. So hopefully you guys were satisfied with the class we gave you. I enjoyed coming out here and doing this for you guys. You guys are an excellent group. Union and Pulaski, I love coming out here for you guys. I don't have anything else per se. Alan? Steve?
Every call is a learning experience.
Yes, it is.
Every single call you go on is a learning experience. Take that, use it, compound it, and when something like this happens, or worse, you'll know exactly how to deal with it. Don't be afraid to improvise. Don't be afraid to try something.
That's the only thing I see. A lot of you just standing around looking at each other.
To thank everybody that was involved in putting this class together. It may help somebody in the future, and I know it'll help somebody in the future. Thank all the line officers that had a lot to do with putting this together.